Hi ladies and gentlemen, I am going to teach you how to use your 5x12 hoop for the Brother PE 770, PE 780, the NV 1250, any of the, well actually this would be for the three 5x7 Brother machines or the equivalent Baby Lock models. I'm not sure what those model numbers are. Anyway, just to clarify a few things. The machine actually sews a maximum of 5x7 filled, regardless that the hoop actually goes up to 12 inches. So we are going to need to split our design. So basically what we're going to do, I'm going to use built-in fonts. This could be built-in fonts, or it could also be imported individual letters. It really doesn't matter, but for the sake of this lesson, I'm going to use built-ins. So basically the first thing that we want to do is create a hoop. Now I've already done this, but I'm just going to go in here and do it again. Basically, we want to go to the hoop drop down, select hoop, and new. And then what we're going to do is tell the software what size our hoop is. And even though they call it a 5x12, this hoop is 5.12 by 11.81. And I like to label it so that I know what it is, so we're just going to go 5x12 hoop. And OK. Now you'll see I've got two in there just because I already created one. So we're just going to double click that and we've got our hoop. So there's the actual sewing field overall. Now what we're going to do is create the word Eagles, which is 6 letters. I'm just going to go to a standard block. And we want to split this into 2 portions. Fortunately, Eagles is simple because it's 6 letters, so we'll do 3. And I'm going to do EAG. And we're going to come down to size. Actually, no, we're not. I'm just going to say enter. Whoops, no, I'm not. Apply. Okay. And then I'm going to click right over here in my sequence window, which puts just a square box around the eagle, or eeg. And then I'm going to copy and paste. Move this over. Kind of eyeball about the spacing. That's all we're worried about. Doesn't matter top to bottom. We're only worrying about the space in between. And then LES. Again, that's changed right over here in the text window. And apply, and you'll see we have both words or both portions now. That spacing looks pretty good right there, so I'm going to select by dragging a box around both portions, go to the Arrange tab, and vertical center. That will line the two up so that they're level. And we're going to rotate. And I'm going to center, which will bring it right to the center of the hoop. Now what I'm going to do is come down to the bottom portion, and I am going to select my hoop size. And again, our height is 11.81. What I'm going to do is go to about 11 inches just because I don't really like pushing it to the limits, and say apply. There we go. Okay, now we have to do 2 different things to make this sew, because at this point right here it will not sew in our hoop. So what we're going to do is select new. And I'm going to come back over here. I'm only selecting half of this. Now, this is important that you look when you select the first half down here at your selection size. This happens to be the taller proportion, or the height is 5.86. Okay, what we have to do is split that in half in order to know where the center of that design is, or where the center of those 3 letters are. So I've created kind of a little cheat sheet here in a second, but what I'm going to do is bring my calculator up. Whoops, that's not my calculator. Okay, and we're going to look again, 5.86, so 5.86 divided by 2. equals 2.93. So basically what we want to do, now this is where it's going to take a little bit of, again, mathematics and also a little bit of drawing. I've created kind of a cheat over here. This is, we're pretending this is the fabric that we're stitching on. So the first thing you want to do is have a vertical line all the way through your fabric, at least as long as your design, but I like going longer than my hoop so that I can hoop it nice and straight so that you get this centered. Then what you want to do is right in the center, you want to draw a center line. Again, I just use a chalk pencil. And then what we want to do is the top half, again, we decided that our halfway point is 2.93. So what we're going to do is from this horizontal line here, we're going to come up 2.93 inches and draw ourselves another line. So when we bring this design in, it's going to look like this. Okay, we're going to go now to our hoop that it'll actually think that it's sewing in, which is our 5x7 hoop. And that happens to be, now this is a good little tip for you as well. A lot of people don't realize, they get confused, they look at all these millimeters up here, which is just by default what Brother puts them in. You don't have an option there other than creating your own hoops. You can name them whatever you want. But I'm going to select, let's see here, where is that one? Where's my 5x7? Oh, right there, 130 by. When you click it, you can see down here, it'll tell you what the hoop that you're using, and okay. All right, so then what we're going to do is, again, we're going to grab this by copying and paste. Now you'll notice it's not centered, and the reason it's not centered, of course, is because we're now using the hoop that it will actually sew in. This is why it won't sew in the larger hoop. If you look, you can see that you're outside of the parameters of the hoop by quite a bit, actually. So now what we're going to do is go to Arrange and Center. Now again, the important thing is when you get your design into your machine and are ready to stitch, make sure that your needle is exactly above the center of your chalk line. So make sure that your needle is right here, and then just stitch that first half out. Okay, I should have told you that we needed to save this first, so what we're going to do is go up here and Save As, and I'm just going to EAG1. And I'm saving it on desktop. Now, of course, you're familiar with BES enough to know that I always save in the BRF because I can go back and edit it, but for the sake of this lesson, we're just going to cut to the chase and go right to PES. And I'm going to save. Okay, now I'm going to create another new window. And again, I'm going to go to my Home tab and select that 5x7 hoop again. And now we're going to select the bottom portion. Okay, now on that bottom portion, we can see down here it's a little bit different in size, 4.84. Okay, on that one I actually don't have to use my calculator. It's 2.42 is the half of 4.84 is 2.42. So again, what we're going to do is that second chalk line, where is it? That second chalk line down here on our fabric is going to be 2.42 inches from this center horizontal line. So we're going to come down 2.42 and draw a line. Now, we're going to go back here, copy, go to the third page and paste. Again, you can see that we're out of the sewing field, so we want to center that. Now, it's also important while we're doing this not to move the design from left to right. Just center it. That way, they'll line back up when you have the two portions together. So, we're going to save this last portion here. Save as. We'll just save it as LES. So, and whoops. put that again as PES format and save. Okay, so now we have the two portions of the design. So all we need to do is bring one in at a time. So and everything should line up. It's really not too difficult. I do recommend using a couple scratch pieces of fabric and playing a little bit. Once you've done this a couple of times, it's really very easy, and you'll get really good results. Again, I want to stress that it makes no difference whether these are built-in fonts or whether they are individual letters. If they were individual letters, again, all we would do is on this over here, just select, we could have brought in, I split this into two portions because I used a built-in font. You wouldn't have to do that if these were all individual letters. So you would just bring one letter in at a time, which I can actually do that and show you here. I don't know if it'll make the video too long, but let's go ahead and do another. Let's see here. Select hoop, and we're going to select the 5x12 hoop. Okay, now what I'm going to do is just do one letter at a time, which would be the same as importing it, or importing individual letters. So we're going to create that first one. Let's see here. Go over to here. Copy, paste. Change this letter. This is a little tougher to do when you're doing it this way. Whoops, what did I do? I didn't paste. Okay. This is a little tougher when you're doing it this way. If you're going to do it this way, what I recommend doing is creating the whole word first in a built-in font. That way you can lay your individual letters one at a time on top of that built-in font to get your spacing good for in between the letters. That's really the only thing that's important, is in between. All of the, they can be up and down. As a matter of fact, I'm going to purposely do that just to show you. Okay, we're going to paste again because we need more letters. So there's EA. This letter is going to be a G. Apply. We're going to paste again. See if I can spell L, and paste again. And that one's right, and paste again. Okay, so now again I'm just going to quickly kind of line these about where I think they go. They're not going to be exact, but that's not important. I just want you to see the way this would look if you were doing individual letters. Now what I'm going to do is select them all. Again, you can see that I don't have them lined up. That's not important. Go to Arrange and Center Vertically. Now they're lined up perfect. Rotate, Center, change our size. I like absolute. And there we go. Okay, so now you can see that I could actually select each letter individually, but I don't want to do that. I want all three, so I'm going to select 3 letters. There you go. And again, home, copy, and go back and paste into the hoop like this. Hopefully that taught you how to use your 5x12 hoop confidently. If you have questions, feel free to post them on the BES Anonymous Facebook page. Have fun.